Hey, what's up YouTubers and BCH followers? Today I'm here in my own garage doing a quick repair on my worm drive saw, my Skil Saw. I managed to cut through the cord all the way the other day and I got to replace it so I can actually get it back into operation. Not an uncommon thing, unfortunately, when you're working in construction, especially when you're framing. It can certainly happen. You want to be careful. You want to make sure you're not going too fast. I happened to hang mine on a horse after I cut 2x4, and it managed to swing right in through past the guard, catch the guard, and then fireworks display after that. So I'm going to show you quickly how to repair that cord, basically replace it. You can pick these up at any of your home center stores or order them from your manufacturer, Skil, Makita, whoever you got. They do have replacement cords for the stupidity that we do sometimes. So I'm going to show you how to do that today real quickly, and hopefully you don't have to do this ever. So you can see here that I've had a couple nicks in the past that I've fixed with electrical tape, just little grazes here and there that tend to happen as we're working quickly and not paying attention. Main key in construction is always to pay attention. No matter how long you've been doing it, make sure you're not going too fast, and don't get complacent. This happened actually as I walked away from the saw as I was explaining, and as you can see right there, got that sucker all the way through. So it's time to replace it, and it's not that difficult to do. Right here as I'm getting started, basically you want to take this handle apart. So you've got these through screws here, and the key, if you want to have a little tip, is to just take out half of these. So I take out one half of this side, and then down here on the bottom, you guys can see that, I take the other half out, and then I'll unscrew these right here. I can pop that off, and voila, we're inside. And then the next tip I'll tell you guys is as you're taking everything apart to replace it with this new cord here, is basically this little spreader bar that's holding everything in place. You want to leave that in place until you take off your ground screw, because this keeps the wires out of the way while you're running your screwdriver to release that ground wire itself. So first step on this process is to unscrew your ground screw, which I've done here, and then this spreader bar that supports the wires into the handle right there, you want to make sure that comes off after the ground wire is released. And then all you're going to end up doing is unscrewing the connection for your hot and your neutral wires, and you want to pull that and feed it all the way out. And then all the parts that you need come in this little repair kit. So new spreader bar and screws. You've got obviously your ground wire, your neutral, and your hot that go right back onto these connections here. You can tighten those down, and then they even give you a new sturdy, basically this is a sturdy bar for your cord, keep everything in place, and that comes with, here it is right here, that comes with the kit as well. So Alright, so you can see I got my new connections in here, got my hot connected, hand tight, neutral's connected here on the bar, hand tight. I got my ground, connected to that ground screw. Everything's running nice and neat back through here, out of the way of my set screws for the handle. And then I've got the spreader bar in here, if it'll focus, and those are all hand tight. So now I'm ready to put my handle back on, and we're as good as new. Alright, there it is, all put back together. Not really shiny and new, but at least the cord is. One quick important tip too, so on this casing for this wire, it keeps the wire coming out of the saw rigid, so it helps keep it away from your saw as you're cutting, but it's also a gasket. That lip that was on there keeps this piece sealed up so the wires don't get exposed in here. So you got to make sure that gasket is actually inside this housing right here on the case of the handle. It'll fit right inside there, and when it clamps down, it'll actually pinch that and keep this sleeve from coming out. And it protects both the exposed wire that's running into the saw attachment itself, and it keeps that the wire away from the saw just enough as you're cutting. which tends to keep you from cutting it up too much. But main things in construction are always pay attention every time. Don't get too complacent, and go slower than you think you need to. Thanks for watching that quick tutorial on how to replace a whip or a power cord for a worm drive saw. And keep checking back for simple tips and more elaborate stuff coming up, including classes. See you guys soon.